Hello and good evening. And once again, I'm sorry about that. We had a bit of a problem just now, but it's not a problem. I tell you what, today I tell you what, when you're kind of like stuck in most of the time, and you're looking to get your hair done, like my hair is really long now, and as I keep on saying to everybody out there, you know, I feel like sometimes getting a flymer and just cutting my hair because
That's how I do it, man. I just use the clippers and just do it
yeah.
myself.
Oh, it's bad, isn't it? It's really bad
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment. Anyway, Ian, nice meeting you, mate, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Good to meet you
Yeah,
too.
I want to. So you're from Edinburgh, lovely Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I've been to Edinburgh a few years ago. Me and my wife went to Edinburgh. We only
Yeah.
went to Edinburgh for the day, and I remember going to Edinburgh and going by this place, and I went downstairs and we went for like a meal. It was like a seafood meal and everything, and it had all these barrels in it, and it was a lovely place.
Nice. Do you remember the name?
Oh, I can't remember the place, but it was like a big building in Edinburgh, and had all these pillars
Yeah.
outside, big pillars. But on the corner, it was like a square, and on the corner, it was a restaurant, and you had to go downstairs.
All right. I don't know, man, but there's a lot of
No,
good places to eat. It's got good restaurants.
yeah, it was lovely. It was really lovely, and we were there for the day because we were on holiday in. We were staying in. I can't remember what the place was called now, but anyway, it was in Scotland anyway, and it was really lovely. And loved it. Um, when you in your spare time teach guitar lessons, don't you?
Yeah. So I teach from home, just teaching guitar. I'm doing that all online at the moment, obviously. But I also work in a school 2 days a week. So I teach kids um, who are sort of they've experienced trauma and stuff in their early life, so they have some issues they have to work through. But I teach them music, and that's a great job. I love that.
Yeah, because that's really good, really, because if people who've had, like children say, who's had problems, problems in the past, and things like that, and different traumas and everything, and teaching them guitar, it's another way of getting themselves out, isn't it? Like, kind of like doing music, and
Yeah,
it also helps their mental health, doesn't it?
yeah. I think it's massive for the mental health aspect because I mean, one is just enjoyable to do music. It gives them a release, but also it can help them focus if they are interested. It's a good way of like learning how to be patient and stuff like that. Um, but mainly it's just something I mean, music connects with everyone. I think
Yeah,
so. They
yeah.
when they if you're having a bad day or if you're struggling with anything, it's a very positive way to channel that anger or that feeling of sadness. It can be become constructive rather than just dwelling on it. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, sure. I remember going to Mind, a place in well, I used to live in Devon, and they have a day centre, and people can go in there and play musical instruments, drums, guitar, everything. And one day I thought, oh, let me go on the drums, and
Yeah.
I needed it because I tell you why, I was so really depressed, so down, and somebody said something to me. So to get my anger out, I went on the drums.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Drums
know,
are brilliant.
yeah, to get your anger out, innit? As long as you don't,
Yeah.
as long as you don't make any holes in the drums, you're all right. Yeah. Um,
Well, I mean, if you have to, you have to.
yeah. Also, when I was at school, I tried playing the guitar,
Yeah.
we had lessons out there, guitar lessons and everything. And I tell you what, I was useless
It can
playing the
be very
guitar.
tricky, the guitar. It's quite fiddly. So I don't know. It does take a little bit of work sometimes to get it.
Yeah, get your fingers and all that in,
Yeah.
and
Some
you know,
people love it. Some people not so much. But I always think it's about finding the right instrument for you, because maybe guitar wasn't the right one, but maybe piano would work, or maybe drums would work, or maybe it's singing.
yeah, yeah.
And me myself, I'm not a very good singer, but I've
Oh,
always
not good.
been all right in
Oh,
guitar.
not good singer, mate. I'm not good singer. But eventually I did learn to play the guitar,
Oh, wicked.
and I played it in the church with the guitar in the church where I used to go to, and I loved it. And I started playing a bit of blues stuff, but I like rock and roll.
Uh huh.
I like I'm a fan of Elvis and stuff like that, and Bill Haley and all that lot. But
Yeah.
I'm also a fan, of other people too. But I tried doing blues one day, like picking on blues,
Right.
and I tried doing that, but I was useless at it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Was that with the finger picking with the right hand?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And tried doing blues with it. You know what I mean? And I just kind of like I was totally useless at it. It's so difficult. How do you teach your clients the guitar? The
Um,
first.
a lot of them are beginners. So what we usually do, we'll start learning single notes before we move on to chords. Because I mean, a chord is when you're holding down lots of notes at the same time. Um, so we'll spend some time just getting to know some single notes. I can show you. I've got a guitar here, man. I'll just show
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and we'll mainly focus. Where can you see?
I can see, I
At
can
this
see you. Yeah.
at the top end of the guitar. So we won't worry about moving up and down the fretboard too much. We'll stick in one area, and we'll sort of learn tunes down here, like little simple stuff. I'm trying to think. Little tunes that everyone knows, but get a little bit of confidence before we start maybe doing the chords and
That's better. Yeah.
stuff like that. And then maybe a good one is also learning just some classic riffs, like this sort of stuff. Just, it doesn't take too long to learn that. And I like to teach those sort of things early on, because then it builds a bit of confidence for when we're going to get into more complicated things.
Mm.
But mainly, I think the important thing is to try and be able to play something that sounds like music early, and also do single notes rather than chords. That's how I
Yeah.
generally start
What's
people
the
up.
first song? What's the first song you teach people then?
A good one is the intro to the James Bond. This. And you just go on like that. It's just at the beginning, but it gets you using your fingers nicely. It's a tune a lot of people know. Or sometimes I do this one, which is moving around a lot, but it's all staying on one string. So that can be a
All
good one
right.
to start on. It varies, man. I try and talk to people, and ask them what kind of music they like, and then try and find something that fits in that kind of style. But you find a
Yeah.
lot of people that want to play guitar. A lot of them like rock music, so that's quite good because I like rock music.
Yeah, yeah, so do I, yeah. Let me show you that I'm gonna show everybody a video of you playing the guitar.
Oh, wicked! All right, cool.
All right. Where was it to? I think to go wrong there. How long have you been playing the guitar now, anyway?
Oh, me, like 30 years, I guess. I started when I was 10, and I turned 40 this year, so it must be about 30 years.
Gosh, when you play the guitar, then do you kind of like do you find it um sometimes rewarding, or do you find it really tough?
I I find like recently I've been really enjoying it a lot again because I'm sort of trying to learn new stuff and like push myself a little bit. I think it's important to what's the word? Just always keep yourself interested.
Do you teach people one to one, or do you do it like in a group session?
Okay, so we're really just working
Um,
out the E and the A chord, and you can just fix
Sorry,
it
that's
along
that
the track.
tutorial going. Yeah, no, I teach them mainly. Well, at the moment it's a lot of one to
The
one,
reason I can subscribe to
but
the
when I
channel
can, I try
is
and do
because I'm doing
groups,
this stuff, showing it around,
especially
which
for
is really
kids,
helpful. You might like
because
it.
I think it's just a lot more fun learning with other
First, let's
people.
have a look at the notes, which I've written down
Yeah,
very roughly over
I'm
here.
just showing people what
So
you
we're
do.
really just
See,
looking at 4 positions
Yeah,
what I'm
so I've been working a lot
with each of
on
the 2
sort of
chords.
developing a YouTube channel and doing some tutorials this year and
E7,
that sort of thing.
4 positions, A7, 4
all right.
positions.
Okay. Um, do you enjoy
Come
doing
back
it
over
then?
here.
Do you
So,
enjoy teaching people?
Yeah, I
the
do.
first
Yeah,
chord
yeah.
is just an open
So
E7 sort of thing. So you've got the
it's
first 2
fun.
notes of
It's fun for
E7,
me
fret
when you
1,
see them start to get
and then
something, and
second finger on the
when
A
they
string
feel
against
happy
fret
with
10.
themselves. That's the
Yeah,
And you can just strum out all of this
main
strings.
reason
yeah,
it's fun being a teacher.
yeah, yeah.
I've been teaching for a long time now, man. I've taught in a lot of different schools. I've taught in primary schools in London for a long time. I've taught in some special needs schools. I've taught privately. I've taught in secondary. So I've done a lot of different things. But I
Mm,
find the things I'm enjoying more is like focusing on guitar teaching and like young, like primary age kids. More like teenagers. I'm not so good with.
mm. Do you like folk music then? Because you play folk music, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I like a lot of folk. I like a lot of world music as well. I like listen to quite a lot of African stuff. Sort of
Yeah, yeah,
like West Africa. Like West African blues is really good. Um, Folk, yeah, I like sort of finger picking style. You know, when you like play with the guitar like open tuning.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That sort of, it sounds a bit sort of 60s and hippie-ish, but I like that. Um,
yeah.
and slide guitar, I love a lot of blues, like sort of folky blues.
Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, yeah, it's all right, isn't
Um,
it?
I mean, I like all sorts of music. I love hip hop. I love rock. I like it. I mean, the kids that I work with, they always play me pop music, and I actually quite like a lot of that too. But what I play is more probably sort of in the acoustic sort of folky bracket.
Do you ever go around where you live in Edinburgh and play in the pubs and the clubs and stuff?
Well, yeah, before the lockdowns, obviously, there's quite a lot. There's quite a good sort of singer-songwriter scene in Edinburgh. Um,
Yeah,
so there's good jam sessions where people just sort of get together and just sort of play and have fun. So I used to do
yeah,
quite a lot of that. I like busking, to be honest. If I'm going to go performing, I think busking is my favourite sort of thing to do. And there's some nice spots in Edinburgh where you can just sort of chill out. I don't know, watch the world go by and just play nice music for people. That's my favourite thing to do if I'm, in terms of gigs, really.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
When with gigs, then when you kind of like do busking, say, do a lot of people like stop sometimes and listen to you, or they.
that's busking is weird because like some days a lot of people want to sort of stop and listen. Maybe they sort of chill out for a bit, or they stop and chat to you. Um, and other days no one does, and it's just hard to
Yeah,
tell. It's hard to tell if it's like you're not playing very well or it's too cold or what it is. But some days everyone seems in a good mood and they want to hear music. Other days everyone seems in a bad mood and they just walk.
What's the highest? What's the highest you got for busking then?
Highest I've ever done with league. I'd say an average is about 20 quid in an hour and a half. Um, there was one day I went out in London and I stayed out for like I don't know, like 5, 6 hours, and I made about 60, 70 quid. I think that's the best I've ever done. But
Gosh,
still, it was a day out in the sunshine, and you know,
that's not bad for London, though, is it? 60, 70 quid.
yeah, it was cool, man. It was good. It's hard to find good spots in London because they don't really like you picking the good ones. They move you on. But, Edinburgh's got quite a good busking culture. They're quite tolerant. You can kind of
Yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of buskers, especially because they have the festival in the summer, and that's got loads of buskers.
yeah. That's what I was going to say to you. Do you ever go to Edinburgh Festival?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Yeah,
I mainly just hang out and watch the world go by, and they go busking or see people perform in the streets. Occasionally go to a show, but really I just like the vibe, and like 'cause the city gets really really busy and everyone's in a, it goes on. It's about 3 or 4 weeks long, but everyone's in a good mood for 3 or 4 weeks, and the city goes. It's just a big party. So I think that's good. A lot of people in Edinburgh don't like that. They think it's a what's the inconvenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool,
What is Edinburgh like for its music then?
I mean, I've lived here about 5 years now, and I'd say it's good. It's good on some stuff, but it's lacking on others. Um, so like I was saying, there's singer songwriter folk. Seems like it's quite a lot of that. But I mean, I would love to see some proper like rock bands or like some hip hop or something a bit different. It seems like there's a lot of the same here, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And I know Glasgow, which is not far away, that has, I think, a more varied music culture. They've got a good club scene. I think they've got just different stuff happening. I think Edinburgh sticks a bit too much to the singer-songwriter thing, and it could maybe like develop a little bit. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble with people in Edinburgh for saying that, but you asked.
Yeah, blame it on me. Blame it on me.
Yeah.
The trouble is so with Edinburgh, because it's a lot of people love Edinburgh. I love Edinburgh, and it's really nice, and it's a big place. But the trouble is, so I must admit, when I went to Edinburgh, well, I didn't go very far anyway. I just got off the coach because we were on a trip, and I went down and get something to eat. But the people are so friendly in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
That's what I find.
Yeah, no, they are open, man. I'd say that in Scotland in general, people are friendly, man.
Yeah.
And Edinburgh's got a good tourist industry, so they're used to people being around and coming from outside. So yeah, they are friendly, man.
Yeah. I think we stayed down by Loch Lomond.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
over a bit closer to Glasgow. That's beautiful up there, though, man.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. Do you actually live in Edinburgh town in the centre?
I live in Musselburgh, which is basically the town right next to Edinburgh. So
All right, okay.
we're on the east side. So I'm not
All right.
but I can afford to live in Musselburgh. You know what I mean? When it starts getting into buying houses and that.
Oh god, is that? All right.
Musselburgh's nice, man. It's got its own thing, but like I say, it's about half an hour into Edinburgh city centre, so it's pretty good.
How are you getting on with the COVID up in Edinburgh?
Well, me and my family have been lucky, man. Me and my wife got a young son, and we're both working part time, so we can spend a lot of time with him. So that's been really good. I mean, for us, because we've been able to work from home and spend a lot of time with the kids. So I mean, really, I can't complain. And my mum and dad are more elderly, but they're healthy. Everyone's healthy, man. So that's all I can ask for. I know it's not been easy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're hoping. I think the vaccines are starting to roll out up here, so hopefully we're going to turn a corner.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. When you kind of like do busking or any other music, have you ever been somewhere where you played music and you have had an embarrassing moment?
Well, I'm sure I have. I'm trying to think here. I remember very early when I was in school, they had this sort of little band competition every year. So when we were like 15 or something, and I just didn't tune my guitar. I don't know why. Something happened. I forgot to tune my guitar, go up and start playing, and it was just completely out of tune. And everyone, I think my friend even told me, he said, tune your guitar, and I just ignored it because I was nervous. So that was pretty embarrassing. What else? I don't know. Yeah, nothing too bad, but guys. But I can't remember last time I did an embarrassing gig. One time, like years ago, I lived in Germany, and I wasn't playing that much music, but I wanted to, and there was people coming to the pub where I was working, and they would play music all the time. So like one day I was like, I'm going to do that. So, but you had to play for 3 hours.
Oh no.
It's a long time because you're the entertainment for the whole evening. And anyway, the manager was nice to me. He said, "Yeah, you can do like Thursday night, wherever it was." And basically, I sucked for 3 hours, man, because I wasn't very good at singing, and I hadn't really rehearsed enough songs, and it was awful. But you know what? I didn't die, so
And they all ran out today. It was empty.
yeah, it wasn't very busy, thankfully. But I think that made it even more painful because it was just such a long time.
Have you ever played in front of people where there's like only 2 or 3 people?
Oh, loads of times. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Sometimes that's all right though. I think if they're there and you got to treat them like there's 100 people and you just got to play your best and they'll appreciate it if you play nicely. If you start acting arrogant, then they won't appreciate it. So you got to accept the fact that 2 people is still an audience.
Yeah. What does your wife think about your music?
Yeah, I think she likes it, man. No,
Is that why you're in the attic and she's downstairs?
yeah. No, this is my music studio up here. Look, you can see the drum kit back there.
All right.
It's my little man cave. No, she likes me. She's actually she's done some backing vocals on some of my recordings.
All right.
Yeah, so she played drums one time. We did a gig, and she played drums. So she's involved, man.
Oh, she only does it because you bribe her, do you?
No. Yeah, sometimes I have to ask nicely, but
Yeah, I know. I'm only having a joke. If you kind of like met somebody in Edinburgh who was really really famous, and who would you like to play with in a concert?
like anyone worldwide, or
Anyone.
I think the person I would like to play with someone like Outkast. Remember that hip hop band? I think I'd like to do a recording with them, or maybe Black Keys would be good.
Yeah.
Who else, man? There's a kora player. I don't know if you know the instrument. It's from West Africa. These are a bit obscure, but there's a guy called Timon Diabate, man. If he's an amazing musician, I don't think he'd want to play with me, but in the realms of fantasy, that would be a wicked gig.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you went, sorry about these questions.
no, he's all right. It's fun, man.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people coming over now. I've got one here for you. It says, if you went to a desert island, who would you take with you, and what will you take with you?
Oh, this is going to be corny, but I take my wife and kid and my guitar.
Oh,
Probably some music. I'd take some food. I'd take a lot of peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
Yeah, I could live on that.
Okay. What does your children think of your music?
My son's only 2, but he does love music. But he'll come up here and he'll play the drum kit, but when I'm playing guitar, he quite often makes me stop so he can do it.
See, so he's trying to tell you, sorry, your son is trying to tell you, sorry,
I think
at younger age.
I think
he's saying, no,
move
Dad.
over, man, move over, old man. I'm coming through. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But
I want to be.
It's nice. He likes music a lot, man. He loves singing. He loves Michael Jackson. He loves Bruce Springsteen. He's into some of the classics.
What do you think about music today? The latest music out today? Because you look at the 70s, look at the 80s and stuff like that, and through all the years, music has changed, isn't it?
I think music's a really interesting point today because you get obviously what gets played on the radio. It's very mainstream and it seems very computer influenced, which is not a bad thing. I mean, that's just technology. But there's more people doing independent music now than ever before. So it's like an interesting time we live in because you don't need to be like a big star on the radio to be doing well in music. You can have your own little niche audience and you can use the internet and these other opportunities like we've got like what we're doing right now. That wouldn't have been available 20 years ago. We wouldn't have been able to do this. So I think that music's a good place for myself.
Yeah.
And I do, like I said earlier, like some of the pop songs I like, some of them I hate. I think a lot of stuff is rubbish, but there's always nuggets in there. There's always gold.
Yeah, I'm not into this music where it's like, um, you know, trance stuff and everything else like that.
I
It's
find
fast stuff.
some of the pop music. It's not so much the music; it's like the lyrics. I think the lyrics are a little bit uninspired a lot of the time. It seems like they're just saying the same thing, and it's a bit shallow for me. It's all just like I went to a club, I got messed up, I met a girl. There's more stories to tell than that, and I think that would be my criticism of like modern music. It's like lyrics is not really saying anything.
Right. Okay. Okay. What else is it? How long have you? How many guitars have you got?
Only three. I'm not that
Three.
bad. I've got two acoustics and one electric. I've got a banjo, and I've got an oud, which is different. Uh, but no, I haven't got a massive collection. I'm not one of those guys who just keeps buying guitars. I just play the guitars I got.
Right. Okay. Um, Steve, can Ian come back and do some singing or play his guitar sometime? Yes, we do ask people to come back, and that's if he wants to.
I would
Yeah,
love to,
but we
man.
do.
If
Yeah,
you can have me, I will definitely come back and play some music for you guys.
yeah, yeah. We'll sort that out soon afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we do that. What was it? Have you ever played into a gig where you have had? Sorry, these people are writing something and they don't. Have you ever played in a gig where people have not liked your music?
Yeah, that has happened. I think the worst thing is when people just talk all the way through it, and you just sort of sitting there trying to play, and people are just not even recognizing you.
That's
And
horrible, isn't it?
I mean, I think that's a bit rude. I don't know why people go to a bar with a musician if they don't
Yeah,
want
I don't
to get the
understand it.
music. But I mean, you can't please all the people all the time. So it's you got. I try and stay positive and just enjoy it when people do enjoy it. Then that's cool. I don't expect everyone to like it because I don't like
Yeah,
it. So why would everyone like me?
yeah. Any other questions? What is Scotland like to live? I always love to go to Scotland. Um,
Yeah, man, it's a good place to live. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff happening up here. Weather's a bit rubbish, but no, Scotland's wicked, man. I would definitely recommend a visit or even move up here if you're looking for something different. Yeah.
yeah, tourist trade. He said he works the tourist trade. Really, he's not a guitar player. Um, he gets he gets some bonus every time he gets somebody up in
Yeah, that's
Scotland.
it. Like, I'm working for the government, man. I'm just got to get people up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get some shortbread.
Yeah,
Um,
some whiskey. Yeah.
yeah. Um, do you when you? How long have you been married?
I've been married since 2013. What's that? 8 years now, nearly 8 years. But we've been together for nearly 15 years. So,
There you go. There you go. Um, have you ever done any other jobs than music?
yeah, I mean, so I've been a music teacher for a long time now, but before that, I was a barman. I used to wash dishes. I had several dishwashing jobs when I was a kid. I used to work in a venue in London called the Kentish Town Forum, just picking up people's rubbish. But that was quite cool because it was a free ticket into a gig. Um, well, what else have I done? Yeah, that's about it, man. Yeah, just sort of bar jobs and casual stuff. But really teaching for about 15 years now and doing music.
Rob wants to know: can you play the bagpipes?
No, but my uncle can.
Lucy said, "Would it be possible if I could see you in a kilt?"
Uh,
Um,
well, I could show you my wedding photos, but I mean that's a bit private, man. But yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you can't see that. No. Okay, that's yeah. Thanks very much, everybody, for your questions. Okay, Ian, thank you very much for your time.
brilliant, man. Just thanks again to you for having me, Steve, and everyone for asking questions. And if you want, I'll definitely come back and do some playing for you, man. That'll be wicked.
Yeah, yeah, we'll set that up. I'll get my lovely wife to do that. you know, when I come off. But thank you very much for your time. And it wasn't that bad, was it?
No, it's fun, man. Enjoyed it. Thank you
Thank,
for having me, man.
thank you for your time and take care for now.
All right. See you soon.
Bye bye. There you go. That was Iain, and thank you, Iain, all the way from Scotland. Yes. Right, I've got to go because I've got to start apologising to my wife. But until now, I'll see you later. Bye bye.